Welcome back, everybody, to the Nosebleed Sports Podcast. I am Chris Witt. Alongside me today is my cousin Adam Schmidt. As always, Adam, how are you?
I'm excellent now that I can get to look at your bare face all day.
I didn't put the I lost a bet sign up,
Beautiful.
but I am paying off my bet of no longer having facial hair. Thanks, Xavier, for losing the crosstown shootout. Appreciate that. This is I feel like a 5-year-old boy. Speaking of 5-year-old boys, tonight joining us in studio, we got a 5-year-old boy staying up late because he doesn't have school tomorrow. He wanted to check it out, so Parker is checking out the podcast with us today. Parker, how are you? Good.
Nice.
All right, so you can check us out. We're on Facebook Live every Wednesday night, 10:30-ish. We get started, and then it's up on all your favorite platforms Thursday morning, YouTube, SoundCloud, Apple Podcast, iTunes, CastBox, the whole nine.
The whole nine.
The whole nine. Actually, I think it's like 4.
Yeah.
But
4,
still,
5, 8.5,
the whole 4.
9. It's 9.
The whole 4. So, Adam, let's get started, man. There's a lot of fun stuff going on today, and something happened to the Reds.
Mm-hmm.
They made a Blockbuster trade the day after we went on the air.
Yes, they did.
So we're about a week into this, but Homer Bailey is gone.
Yes, he is.
The Reds finally got rid of Homer Bailey.
You are on cloud 9 right now because you're to Billy Hamilton and then Homer Bailey.
Yeah.
Your guys you wanted gone more than anything are both gone now. Homer Bailey, the Dodgers decided to take on his pay what they needed to get rid of him.
Paid him off and gave him his outright release. The best they got Homer Bailey and then released him. And in return, the Reds pick up a really functional starting pitcher in Alex Wood, and a couple what ifs. Never knows. Well, one is a pretty solid. I mean, Matt Kemp you know what you're getting out of Matt Kemp, and I don't think you do know what you're getting out of Yasiel Puig.
I feel like you kind of know just because just for me, because I know not to over expect. I'm not so excited that I think he's going to change this lineup drastically and make it the best offense in the league or anything like that. I don't think that.
Right.
Who knows if he might not be an everyday player. He wasn't an everyday player really in Los Angeles. They kind of rotated guys in. He played a lot.
He was in AAA last year. I mean, they sent him down to AAA. So it's not like they're scared, not scared, or that he hasn't been there before.
Right.
So
because he's an inconsistent player. He falls in love with swinging from his heels and trying to hit the ball out of the park sometimes, and he, he's got a little ego, I don't know if ego is even the right word, or if it's just he has some inconsistencies in his either personality or just the way he's behaved since he's been in the league. And remember, he came up as like the top dog, top
man,
prospect.
when he came, it came with. I mean, it was like a myth, like a mythical creature. Right. He comes over, on a raft of tires and gets held hostage in Mexico somewhere, and somebody had to come and pay some money to get him out. I mean, it was crazy. So, and he is a 5-tool guy. He's fast. He's got an absolute cannon of an arm.
Yes.
But he can kill the ball. He can mash. And as a lefty here in Great American Ballpark, everybody knows that's what that ballpark was made for. Ken Griffey Jr., Adam Dunn. That's why they built that park that way.
Exactly.
It's a hitter's ballpark. It could be a great addition for him, and maybe Cincinnati is low-key enough. I mean, it got Matt Harvey $16 million.
Yeah, no kidding. And that's the thing about this is I don't care. So let's talk about total. They got Alex Wood, Yasiel Puig, Matt Kemp, and Kyle Farmer, catcher / third baseman, I think, or infielder. He's gonna be a bench player. He may be the backup catcher. He may just be a kind of a backup, basically probably a bat off the bench.
Right.
And then he'll spell Barnhart maybe once in a while.
He will be the backup catcher, though, at this point in time. It's him or Casale, right?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I would say. Yeah. So yeah, he will probably be. So he'll be, hopefully that'll be a big pickup. That may mean just as much as any of these other guys because, some years the Reds have a decent bench. Some years they have an awful bench. They had an okay bench, I think, last year, and hopefully Kyle Farmer gives them another bat that's at least decent enough to fill a hole at the end of games or whatever. So anyway, they picked up those 4. They also got $7 million, by the way. I don't think a lot of people are talking about that. But anyway, and then the Dodgers got Homer Bailey, Jeter Downs, and Josiah Gray.
That prospects. And they're trying. It was 100%. They were over the luxury tax. They were trying to get rid of some contracts, and they did. Mm-hmm. And they got rid of some money to get them underneath that luxury tax deal. And then they'll give themselves room to go after another, a Harper or whoever out there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So and that also gives them that I think they're losing another like $50 million off their salary or off their books after next year. Yeah. So getting rid of all these contracts this year, plus what they get rid of after next year, they're going to have some serious room. And then now they just picked up 2 more prospects that they could turn around for.
Sure.
People are still looking to trade for Kluber or Bauer.
Yeah.
To the Indians.
And that was another thing that I think the Reds were. And the Reds came into this offseason with money. Dick Williams said, "We have money. We are going to be active in free agency." They have not been active yet in free agency. I mean, just a big trade. Yeah. So I feel like there's still a move to be made in this case. Mm-hmm. Whether it's getting Kemp and turning him around to an American League team and trying to, ease him into being able to just be a hitter as a DH and spell some guys in the field, he can still play. I think he would probably start in left field for this Reds team if they kept him at this point in time. And then, you have Puig, Schebler, and Winker that would rotate the other 2 spots. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah. And to me, I think next year, Winker is going to have to be an everyday guy. The way he hit the ball last year and his discipline at the plate, he's not a great fielder or anything, and he's a slow guy, so he's not going to fill in center field for Hamilton. It's going to have to be, I think, Schebler or Puig in center field.
Right.
I think those are our options. And by the way, I don't want everybody to forget how good Phillip Ervin was at the end of last year.
He was great. Phillip Ervin at this point, I mean, it wasn't even at the end of the year. That kid mashed in spring training, and they didn't bring him in. They didn't call him up until halfway through the year, and he killed it when he was here. So he's going to be a great bat off the bench. No more Billy Hamilton. No more Homer Bailey. This team is starting to. It's starting to be fun. Now it's hot stove. It's preseason. It's all that. And we can get excited if we want to, but there's still some names out there, and the Reds still have money. And we thought this was a 2 or 3 year deal, and it might be a 1 or 2 year turnaround instead.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying they're going to come out and win the division or anything,
right?
But they're not. I mean, they have better potential to not come in last. The National League Central was the best division in the National League last year.
Yes,
they had 4 teams vying for a wild card spot at all times, all the way up to the end.
The Reds were the only team not over 500, and I don't think there were any. I don't think there were any other divisions with more than 2, maybe 3 teams. And this one we had 4.
Right,
we meaning the National League Central.
The National League Central, exactly. So I'm telling you, I really think that this could be a turnaround. Now you got on and you were looking at what this lineup would look like now, just starting now. As is, we both wrote down a lineup, see how close we are to each other's thinking. So your opening day lineup right now is...
So I didn't actually write it down, so I'm looking at the depth chart, and I'm going to do it right now. So, kind of like you did with your picks every week.
Kind of like I'm doing right now.
So you're... Okay, good. All right, we're on the same page here. I would think that either Jose Peraza or Jesse Winker can lead off. Jesse Winker wouldn't be ideal because he has no wheels at all. So I'm going to say Peraza. I'm going to say Peraza 1. I'm going to say I would put Joey Votto at 2. I would do Votto 2, Suarez 3. Then I would do Scooter Gennett 4. Well, hold on.
It's a lot. I'm telling you, there's some bats in here now. This is an offensive. We've already know that the Reds are a very good offensive team.
Yes,
they were top 10 in the National League last year in a ton of categories. Joey Votto was part of it. Thank you, Parker. This is not going to do nothing but make it bigger and better. And you're gonna and it's going to be a fun lineup to watch. There's not a ton of holes in it.
It'll be they should have a little bit more power this season with Puig, with Hamilton not in the lineup and Puig and or Kemp in the lineup for sure. That doesn't always in this case it might, just because Hamilton batted 240 or whatever and 230 or whatever, and even if Puig or Kemp hit the same average, they're gonna produce more runs.
They are.
So anyway, so without getting into that debate, I would say, so if Puig's in the lineup, he'll be 4th. Gennett will be 5th. If Kemp's in the lineup, he'll probably be 6th. He had such a good year last year at the plate, though. Oh my gosh. But I'll stick with that. 4 Puig, 5 Gennett, 6 Kemp, which means, then Winker. Then Winker's hitting 7th.
Yeah.
He's too good, too disciplined at the plate, I think, to hit. He's got to get on in front of somebody. Maybe he hits 2nd and Votto hits 3rd.
It would be a lot of fun to try to create a lineup.
This is hard.
It'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
All right, Parker is out. Parker, thanks for hanging out for a little while, and enjoy the rest of your night. Don't forget to close the door on your way out.
See you, Park. All right.
So anyway, sorry.
So I pretty much had. So you're either you have Puig, Gennett, and Kemp basically at 4, 5, and 6. However you want to line those guys up. Kemp can have the same kind of year he did last year and deserve to hit 4th.
Yeah.
So.
Kemp had a phenomenal year, 25 and 89 RBIs, 25 home runs, 290, hit 290. I'd die for that. That's an incredible bat to be in the middle of your lineup.
Right. So then Winker goes down, or maybe you do the same thing they did last year and put Winker 9th, maybe hit Barnhart 7th, pitcher 8th, Winker 9th as almost kind of like a second leadoff spot, basically, and then roll it back over to Peraza. That was confusing because I redid it 6 times, but I'm with you. You know who I got.
Yeah. So here's how I would do it.
Okay.
I would lead Gennett off.
Okay.
I'm not worried about wheels at this point in time. There's a lot of sticks in this lineup. Get a guy who's going to get in, and the bottom of your lineup is going to be good enough to where he's going to be up a lot with runners in scoring position and people on base still. So I go Gennett, Votto, and then that's where the struggle is. I'm going to go Suarez, Kemp, Puig. And I just changed that because I did have Puig 4th, but I'm putting Kemp, then Puig, and then let's see here. So 6, that would give me. Let's see. Who am I missing? I'm missing an outfielder. Winker.
Oh, Winker.
Winker. Yeah. Winker's going to hit 7th. And Suarez is going to hit 8th.
I see what you did.
And so
Peraza 9th.
I'm sorry, Peraza. Peraza's hitting 8th. Suarez is hitting 3rd.
And then
Barnhart, that's who I'm missing. So Barnhart hits 6th.
Oh, okay.
And I'd probably end up switching Winker and Barnhart in that case. So I'd go Gennett, Votto, Suarez, Kemp, Puig, Winker, Barnhart, Peraza.
Okay. That'll be interesting to see how Scooter Gennett would handle the leadoff spot.
It would, and I don't think it'd be anything. He hit in 4 or 5 different spots last year. It'd just be another place for him to go. I tell him, don't change anything. I don't want you to change anything. Go up there with the thought process of hitting the ball like you have been, and just go at it. This team isn't going to need that leadoff guy mentality because they're going to get on base.
That's the thing. Your leadoff position, your batting order mostly only matters to start the game. I mean, because it turns over.
Throughout an entire year, that's what it's all about. Throughout an entire year, he's going to end up with 30 more bats than anybody else.
Right.
So you still want a bat there. That's why it's no good to put a 230 hitting center fielder that on base percentage of 250. Pointless to put him there because he's getting more bats than anybody on the team, and he can't get on base. So
and they didn't last year. They hit him ninth almost all year.
I know.
Yeah. Okay, I like your lineup. But yeah, so that goes to show you there are a lot of possibilities here, and obviously it's gonna however much Schebler gets worked in. However much.
I think Schebler's going to get in there a ton. First off, who are you playing in what positions in the outfield? Is Winker playing center?
No.
Or Puig's in center?
I think Puig has to be either Puig or Schebler have to be in center. To me, Winker is so slow. He's so slow. He's fine. I'm fine with him in either outfield spot, and then put Kemp in either of the other outfield spots. However, if it works out that one of those guys is more comfortable in right and the other one happens to be more comfortable in left or whatever, great. It works out that way. If they both don't care or if they both like playing left field over right or whatever, then you got to just figure out who, use all the analytics and all the
have fun with it. They got plenty of guys doing that stuff now.
The sports science stuff and
have fun with it. Move them around. I'm good with that too.
Either way, I'm excited. Now we're talking. You got, by the way, the rotation. You work Roark and Wood in there, so you have, DeSclafani. Well, you have DeSclafani, Castillo, Roark, and Wood are pretty much the four probably guarantees.
Right.
And then you have Tyler Mahle, who's got to be right there at probably the fifth spot. At the end of last year, Michael Lorenzen was pitching well and was still really, had his mind on being a starter. So he still wants that spot. Maybe in spring training, all those guys go after it. They have 6 guys going after that fifth spot, and Michael Lorenzen outpitches everybody and hits 310.
I'm telling you,
and 3 homers and 10 RBIs in spring training, and comes out in that fifth spot, and then we get his bat 3 times a game. Every game.
That's the other thing. I mean, Lorenzen, don't get me wrong, was phenomenal at the back end of that bullpen last year. But when you got a bat like that, and a guy who wants to be a starter and has proven that he can be a starter and has been, he's had his ups and downs just like everybody else on this team, but has proven that he has the potential to get out there and do it. Throw that, but hit him. I'd be hitting him 5th, 6th.
Yeah.
Why not? Or maybe not really. Probably hit him 7th or 8th, but there's no reason for him to be sitting down at the bottom. Try to get him an extra bat in a game.
I'll tell you what. We talked about the lineup. The only hole in that lineup really is the pitcher spot. If he's starting and he bats 2 or 3 times a game, there's no holes. Literally no holes in those.
No hole at all. That'd be fun. All right, so I missed it. So who are your 5 starters?
So you got DeSclafani. Well, okay. So you want them in order. Right now, I'd probably say, and it's tough because DeSclafani struggled at the end of last year. Castillo was like literally up and down. Every other month he was fantastic. Every other month he was terrible last year. So I would say maybe right now Alex Wood might be first. And then I'd probably go DeSclafani, Castillo, Roark, and then probably Tyler Mahle. Unless because he was kind of the same way. He had some good.
That was I shot him over on the right-hand side. That was I got 4. He was the first of the 5 that I put down.
Yeah. But you still have guys like Cody Reed and Robert Stevenson and those guys that are still, those quadruple A guys that pitch pretty well in triple A for the most part and then come up and do okay sometimes and pretty bad others.
In your wild card, Amir Garrett, I feel like I really wish they would get off this bullpen stuff and give him another chance. I know that he had 2 great games and then fell off the table. Right. Was it last year or 2 years ago, whenever it was, when he first came up? Mm-hmm. And, they pretty much stuck him in the bullpen, and, maybe the guy's just not cut out for it because he struggled there at the end of the year. Middle of the year.
He did. After I think he got hit on the shin or something like that, or on the knee maybe, and he had to miss some time. And when he came back, he was phenomenal before that. He was so good the first couple months of the season out of the bullpen, and then he got hurt, came back, and it seemed like ever since then he really struggled those last couple months. So
is Finnegan got a chance of ever coming back, or has he ruined his spot on this team? All new coaching in here, all new everybody. Maybe he can work himself back in.
I don't think he's ruined. I don't think even Stevenson, who had that Homer Bailey mentality last year, where he would, we talked about that. Even he. It's a great point you just made. Brand new staff, really highly regarded pitching coach that came in here from the Brewers.
Yep.
These guys will work. This new coaching staff will work with all of these pitchers and hopefully finally weed out the guys that, look, you're a quadruple A player.
Yeah.
We're gonna release you, or we're going to trade you if anybody's interested. You really usually can't get too much out of those guys, but unless
somebody sees some kind of potential out of them.
Sure.
So, but we both agree on Disco, Castillo, Wood, and Roark as 4 locked-in guys to start the season, right?
I would say so, yes.
So then you have Malley, Hughes, Finnegan, Stevenson, and Reed.
And I'm highest on Malley, I would say,
because he was the most consistent last.
And I think he's still the youngest of those guys too. I'm pretty sure.
I'm not sure about that.
Yeah,
he's one of the youngest guys on the entire team.
Right? Is he like 23 or something like that? Or
yeah.
So, I definitely feel a whole lot better about this rotation than I did a month ago or whatever before we got Roark.
Roark and Wood come in, and all of a sudden you go from having 2 starters, 1 starter really, and Castillo, who was Malley was the only one that was consistent all year, and you got and Disco had his, like I said, Disco is the same way. I haven't looked at it at all, so I'm not sure. But
Joe Leonard said, Parker, Paw Patrol over nosebleeds. Or Paw Patrol greater than nosebleeds. Very funny and correct.
Yes. Yes. Actually, we're not a Paw Patrol house.
Not a Paw Patrol house? Okay.
No.
Okay.
We've I see the little toys out there, and all these kids got them. We've never been a Paw Patrol house. I don't know if that's a Nickelodeon thing, but we're more of a Disney Channel family,
Can't go wrong there.
No.
That's all right. I do it, man. You see those Paw Patrol things everywhere.
They're everywhere, dude.
Everywhere. Yeah. Anyway, back to the Reds. And listen, let me say this. Even if the Reds would get, and the more I think about it, the less I think they're going to get Dallas Keuchel, because he's like the highest ranked starting pitcher that's a free agent, I think. If the Reds are in it with every other club, then...
Yeah, but the thing is the Reds have come out and said, we are ready to be aggressive. We have the money to be aggressive. I don't know what that money is, but they haven't spent any of it yet.
That's true. And the Angels, the Dodgers, the Red Sox, the Yankees, the Cubs, the teams that can definitely afford a lot more than the Reds can, may not be looking for Dallas Keuchel.
And they may not want to bring on that kind of a payroll hit to something that they've already got locked up and already are very good.
Yeah.
So they can spend a little less money on a decent starter and put him at in their 5 hole, instead of going after a guy like Keuchel who's going to be 2 or 3.
Yeah. So let me say, even if the Reds get a hold of Keuchel and add him to this rotation, I'm still not ready to say they are at the top of this division. It's too good between the Cubs, the Cardinals, and the Brewers. I'm not really that worried about the Pirates, although they're not that bad. Between the 3 of those teams, I still can't say they would be better than those teams for an entire season. I would have to see, because you can't go from 90 whatever losses to winning your division. It's happened, but hardly ever. You have to make drastic changes, and they're working on that.
Sure.
But Roark, Wood, and Keuchel don't do quite enough for me. Now, if the Reds trade for Corey Kluber and don't give up any of maybe they give up Kemp or something.
Somebody's going, and it's probably going to be somebody they just got, a Puig or a Kemp.
Sure. If they get rid of anybody out of the infield, I won't feel as good. that's the thing that I've liked so far is they haven't, after all the talk about trading Scooter Gennett last year, they haven't done that, and I was hoping they wouldn't just because I want to see this infield. It's so good. I want to see what this infield can do with some pitching as well.
The infield is so good offensively.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what I mean.
Let's be honest. This infield is not the defense that we have been for the last 8 years. The Reds have had a phenomenal defensive infield, going back to Phillips and all that. And Gennett is probably the worst defensive second baseman in the league, but he's probably the best offensive second baseman in the league, so it makes up for it there. Votto is a shell of his Gold Glove season, or 2 seasons. I guess he's got 2 of them. Maybe he's only got 1. Either way, he's got at least 1. He's a shell of that guy. I mean, there's something about a guy who every time a ground ball's hit at him, he's falling back on his butt and backhanding it. Like, the ball can be hit directly at him, and I feel like he's always falling backwards and trying to backhand it. Every single ground ball, he's always doing it, and they boot and they kick off his heel and everything else, and he's not the defensive guy. Suarez is probably the best defensive player that we have, and he was the shakiest guy when we first moved him over there.
Yes.
So the defense of this infield,
not great, which is one of the reasons that I valued Billy Hamilton so much, because I know it doesn't matter if a ground ball's hit to Billy Hamilton, but it might, because he can cut off ground balls in the gaps a lot better than anybody else too. So anyway,
I feel like his potential of cutting off an extra base was more valuable than him making a catch. I feel like he had he did that way more often than he would have making some kind of catch that nobody else would have made. He made a lot of those,
right?
But he gets to balls in that gap that cuts down doubles into singles way more often than he does make the fantastic catch.
And by the way, had one of the best arms in the league too. Had a really, really good arm.
I wouldn't say one of the best. There's a ton of everybody has a really strong arm nowadays. That's true. That kid, he's got. Don't get me wrong. I'm not doubting him.
Very good arm.
And accurate. That was the thing about Hamilton, is he was accurate, and that is more important than having a strong arm. If you have a strong arm, but you can't throw, but you're always throwing the ball 5 feet to the left or right, it doesn't matter. Billy Hamilton was accurate. Now, like I said, I'm happy Billy Hamilton's gone. He did have some good attributes. Now that he's gone, I don't want to talk bad about the guy. I'm happy he's gone. He should have been gone 2 years ago. Instead, we got absolutely nothing for him. Nothing at all 2 years ago. Giants were talking about it. We were in talks with everybody else. You could have gotten something for him. Anyway, besides the point, we've already talked about that before.
All right. Well, okay. So we covered the lineup. We covered the rotation. I mean, I don't know. It's that's the thing you mentioned before. It still feels like there's more that's going to happen.
Oh yeah,
Dick Williams said that. He said we still don't plan on being done.
Oh yeah, I mean, right after the trade was made, he was saying we are not done. This is not over. I mean, it's January. We're not even in January yet. Pitchers and catchers don't report till February 19th or something.
Something like that.
We have got a month and basically a month and a half of fun that we could still have, because they're going to have this team pretty well put together by spring training.
Let me finish what I was saying before about...
Sorry.
I just mean... No, we started talking about something else. I didn't finish my own thought. I'm not... Even if they add Keuchel, I will be excited, a lot more excited than I would have been if they didn't do any of that stuff, but not as excited as if they figure out how to trade for Corey Kluber. I'll be on board with... We
losing something.
We might be... Well, no.
You'd be on... Not right. You'd be on board with thinking this is a turnaround season.
I'll trade Nick Senzel. I'll trade Taylor Trammell. I'll trade just about anybody. I'd like to hold on to Hunter Green, honestly, but if it takes him to get Corey Kluber, I think that with the additions we've already made, I think that changes us enough. Corey Kluber is a Cy Young pitcher. Yeah. He is a Cy Young award-winning pitcher, and he's still at that level.
That'd be difficult. I don't know if that's doable. I don't know if they're going to be able to give up enough to get that. I don't know if they're willing to give up enough, or that they have enough of what somebody might want to get for Corey Kluber. So I'm more excited about the possibility at signing Keuchel, a Dallas Keuchel or something like that.
Sure.
In free agency.
That's more likely to happen.
Right. And that is just as exciting to me. I love that. I am totally good with that.
Yeah.
Give me another great beard on a pitcher.
It's only not
Tanner Roark's beard, by the way.
Oh, you poor guy. You're dreaming about beards.
I can't stop thinking about him. I had to shave my face. If you're just joining the Nosebleeds sports podcast tonight, I lost a bet. The crosstown shootout, Xavier lost, and I've got a terribly shaven face. In fact, our little sign in the background, our little sign in the background has got me with a beautiful beard, Adam with a nice beard, and son of a gun if my beard's gone.
Can we give a shout out to the artist on this?
100%.
Let's talk about Cody Gollett here for a minute. Your brother-in-law, my cousin-in-law, if that's a real thing,
Sure.
Designed and painted that.
Killed it. Drew it, painted it, did the whole 9 yards, and I'm big on 9 yards today. The whole 9 yards come out twice now. But yeah, did a heck of a job, man. It's awesome, and I'll come back to the beard shortly, and we'll look like the picture again.
By next week, you'll be.
It won't be that. It'll be a couple weeks before it's where I'm comfortable.
I mean,
it'll be there.
Okay,
it'll be there, but I'm not comfortable yet.
It'll be there. It'll be noticeable.
Sure,
you'll be all right.
All right. So anyway, there's all kinds of other stuff going. So we got the Reds. I think we spent a pretty good amount of time on that. I think we got, it's preseason. Is it preseason for baseball? Is that called preseason? I feel like that's a football or basketball term.
Spring training.
Yeah, but spring training's not here yet.
It's the off season.
Off season. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. It's the off season. So we got, there's a lot still to go with that. And we'll definitely get into that because we're a Cincinnati-based podcast. So anytime something like that happens with the Reds, we're going to get into it. Speaking of Cincinnati-based podcasts, let's hit on it real quick. Bengals stomped again, Cleveland. Another bet I lost. Well, I'm losing bets left and right.
You bet on that game?
I was trying to win my money back from the first Bengals loss to the Cleveland Browns. I went double or nothing.
You got to learn at some point, my man. Betting on.
I did take the Bengals. I did take the Bengals with the 5. Was it 5 or I can't remember what it was. Whatever it was, they covered. So
you got to get with your man Pete. He'll tell you betting does not pay.
Yeah, but he had fun.
He sure did. He had fun in a lot of different ways.
I don't think I'm betting quite the money Pete was.
I don't think so either. If you are, you're hiding it well.
Thank you.
Okay. So, right, like you said, we can talk about baseball. Okay, so we'll touch on the Bengals real quick. So let me tell you that
that was literally just the touch.
That was the whole. Okay,
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I didn't. Honestly, I forgot that the game was on. I was watching something else, and then suddenly I realized, oh my gosh, the game started 2 hours ago. So I flip it on, and it's the end of the third quarter, and they're down 23-0. I'm like, okay, the Bengals are losing 23-0 to the Browns. Who are a lot better than they have been the last couple years, but they're still not a great team. They're not great.
No, they're not even 500.
So they, if they would have won that game they tied, they would be 500. But anyway, so I'm like, okay. So then the Bengals kick a field goal, 23-3, whatever, starting the fourth quarter. I mean, I'm like, okay, well, this isn't even worth watching. I ended up keeping it on. I'm doing stuff around the house or whatever, and it is, and then they score like a couple of times pretty quickly in the fourth quarter, and suddenly it's 20. It ended up, it's 26-18, and I think they had one more chance, or maybe it was even 23-18. Was it 23-18 before the Browns kicked another field goal? Anyway, either way, suddenly the Bengals are back in the game. Yeah. And I'm like, wow, wouldn't this be something to...
I was the opposite. I turned it on and watched till halftime, and I was absolutely sickened and turned it off, and I didn't watch any of it. I was like, wow, they scored 18 points? Yeah. Where'd that come from?
Yeah. So I guess it was kind of garbage time, but garbage time to the Bengals is all game long because every one of their guys that are playing are backups, basically, or just about, it seems like, anyway. So anyway, that's my story about the Bengals. That's what I have to contribute. Is I turned the game on late and saw them score and get back in the game, kind of, and then they came up short. and they are, what are they now? 6-8? No, 6-9. Something like that. Are they 6-9?
That sounds right. I don't know. I have no idea.
I'm
done. Next week. So this is week 17. Last game of the year for the Bengals. Our Locked On Bengals correspondent. Is that the correct way to go about that? Correspondent?
Yeah, I'd
sure.
say.
Yeah,
sure.
Insider, Bengals Insider. LockedOnBengals.com writer Andre Edwards will be with us next week. Hopefully, we haven't confirmed. We talked about it before, so I might be jumping the horses here. But
the man might be so disappointed and so upset about how this season is.
I understand. If he needs an extra week or two, we can wait an extra week or two for him. But right now, the plan is to have him back on to go over how terrible they are, were, and how bad these injuries, how much of this season was injuries, and how much of it was just bad coaching, bad playing, bad do your job kind of a deal mentality. So we'll go on to that. Talk with Mr. Andre Edwards at Andre Edwards 06 on Twitter. Check him out. Great follow. All right, so I would like to let's say today is the day after Christmas.
It is.
So if you're listening to this podcast live on Facebook, 24 hours ago was Christmas. What was the best thing you got for Christmas, man?
Best thing I got. That's tough because I got a lot of I'm so spoiled. My family does it up big every year, so very spoiled. I got a new printer. For my computer. A really good one too. I didn't need a really good one. Santa went out of his way to
Santa. I'll tell you what, dude. Old Santa Claus, he hook you up every now and then.
He does all right. So I got a printer. I got a new DVD player. My DVD player hasn't worked for a long time.
Wow. Blu-ray?
It is a DVD/Blu-ray. It is a smart DVD player.
Wow. How smart is it?
I didn't have a punchline. It wasn't a joke.
Sorry.
So I didn't. No, it's so smart that it knows what DVD I'm going to play before I even put it in.
That's pretty smart. We pretty much everything we have goes on this streaming stuff now. I hardly use my DVD player ever.
I probably will hardly use it, but I have been in situations over the last year or so that I'm like, man, I got this DVD. I can't find it on Netflix or Amazon Prime Video.
Sure.
I
see you more as I bet you use your VHS player more than you use your DVD player.
If I got my VHSs back out, yes, I would. I got a lot of good stuff, man.
I know you do.
A lot
That's
of good stuff
saying.
on VHS.
About every Michael Jordan game he's ever played in, I think you have recorded.
I'd love to throw in Come Fly With Me on VHS. I also have it on DVD, though. That's the thing.
Okay.
So I can watch it on DVD.
You re-upped all your Michael Jordan VHSs. I'm gonna have to do that at some point in time. I'm gonna have to take all my LeBron James DVDs and turn them, make them digital or whatever.
You can find any instance of LeBron's life on the internet somewhere. I guarantee that.
There's no doubt. Speaking of LeBron, how about the Lake Show? 9-point underdog going into Oakland, Christmas Day, the greatest day in the NBA calendar, besides the finals and playoffs, of course. And my man goes into Oakland and shows them what's going to happen come June? Is that when they play is that when the finals is now in June?
In June.
He's just letting Oakland know. Actually, they probably won't even be playing in June because they're going to knock them out in the conference championship.
In May. Yep. We'll see about that, but
this Lakers team, you got to admit, they look way better right now than anybody thought that they were going to be playing.
I will agree with that.
Yeah.
I will agree with that.
I know that I get on this LeBron hype and joke around about that all the time because he's the father of my children and everything like that. But honestly, though, they really have been playing better than people thought. And it's because LeBron is basically just trying to do it on his own right now.
I mean, we know that he changes things. Look, and let me give this a shot. Ivica Zubac.
Oh, yeah.
Ivica Zubac, I believe, is the young man's name that had what did he have? 18 and 11 in that game. And he's the last 3 games, he's averaging like probably 17 or 18 and like 8 rebounds, something like that. That's a kid that I think he's in his second or third year.
Somebody's buying into LeBron's system.
He wasn't.
Luke Walton. Sorry.
Nobody knew who that guy was until LeBron came and started.
Until last night. That was when everybody found out who he was.
Yeah. Right. And he's played pretty well the last couple weeks, but
him and Kuzma both
Day.
Looked really good. One bad thing comes out of it. LeBron says he heard something pop. He's day to day. I haven't heard anything new on it. Hopefully nothing bad. Let the man rest. You're in good position right now. Let him rest for a couple days if he needs it. Get him healthy. Don't let him go out there at 80%. Let him get into the 90% range or higher before you bring him back, because you don't have a ton of room that you have to make up right now. You're all right. You can stand to lose a couple games and drop yourself down in that 7-8 spot and then get back on that winning streak when he comes back. So I hope they don't push him back early. I hope he doesn't push himself back too early.
Yeah. I think that's what they're going to do. I think they're going to have him sit. That's the one thing that LeBron has been pretty good about, is knowing his body and taking care of it. You know, for a while there, until last year, he was doing the whole I'm sitting out, back-to-backs for the 3 out of the 3 out of 4 days or whatever. And then last year he was finally like, well, everybody's doing that now, so I'm going to play all 82.
Right.
And he did that, and he was fine there.
Now last year I feel like he had to, because he was he pushed Adam Silver, and he was the one who really pushed the whole less back-to-backs, your 5-day road trips, things like that, and having more breaks. He was the one that pushed that whole thing. So when they went and did it, I'm sure there was a back deal somewhere that said, look, LeBron, if you're healthy, I need you playing every game then.
Yes. And that's how it works, and that's right. I think that was the right thing. So, but that's what I mean. LeBron has been very aware of his body, how he feels. He spends whatever it is, a couple $1 million a year on his body, taking care of his body. He's good at knowing what to do with that. And if he goes to Luke Walton and says, you know what, I'm about 85, 90, I'm going to take one more. We got the next day off after that. I think I'm going to at least do that and then see how I feel in a couple of days or whatever. Luke Walton's going to be fine with that. Like
Luke
you said,
first off, he's not going to Luke Walton and telling Luke Walton and asking him if that's all right. He's going up to Luke Walton and telling him this is what's going to happen. I mean, let's be honest. I say that as a joke. He's not literally going to go up and go, I'm sitting out. That's what it is. He's going to go up and have a conversation, but whatever LeBron feels is what LeBron is going to do. Yes. Otherwise, Luke Walton wouldn't be there.
Their next 6 games, they play quite a bit. They play 6 games in the next, about 10 days or so. They have the Kings, the Sacramento Kings, tomorrow night, Thursday. They have the Clippers. So Kings, they could beat. The Kings are better than everybody thought they were going to be, but
right.
That's a very winnable game even without LeBron. The Clippers are a lot better than everybody thought they were going to be. They might lose to the Clippers without LeBron. They play the Kings again on the 30th. 2 out of the 3, so you might beat the Kings twice in a few days and go 2-1. Then you have the Thunder. You're probably going to lose that game. Then you have the Knicks. You'll win that game most likely without LeBron, possibly. And then you have Minnesota, who was on a hot streak for a while. Now they're kind of
that's a 2-week span.
About a 2-week span, and at least half of those games are very.
You come out 500 and only lose a spot, and only lose one spot in the West
without LeBron, and have him sit 2 weeks, and he's not going to need that much time. I don't think.
I don't think you will either.
Because let me tell you why. Because you are going to be there offering massages to that groin. It's a left groin.
It's left groin. I will be in that groin. I flew back from L.A. for the show, and I will be up in that groin. I was up in that groin earlier this morning, LA time, so it was like 10 o'clock this time here. He got a steam in, and then I kind of caught him at the end of the steam, helped him out. But it definitely, I could tell from going from the right groin to the left groin, there's definitely, some swollenness in there. I don't know if it was just from my massage or what, but he was getting swole. So, yeah, I think he's going to be all right. I think my magic hands will get him back here in about a week.
I think they will too. You're the best groin massager, from what I hear, and
so anytime you need it, brother, I'm here for you.
No, I'm going to take everybody else's word for it. Anyway, LeBron will be fine. He had an MRI today, and that was negative. So I think he tweeted out "dodged a bullet" or something, which made huge news. Everybody was talking about.
My God.
LeBron says dodged a bullet. So anyway, the biggest news of my day was LeBron saying that.
That way he did.
He did.
I helped.
Thanks to you.
I jumped in front of the bullet.
He dodged the bullet. Yep. You
pushed him out of the way.
Yep.
Took it in my right shoulder. Mm-hmm. Still able to use full strength in my right hand to take care of his groin, though. So
you protected his groin with his left groin with your right shoulder. Let me think about this for a minute.
Well, I got shot from behind. I wasn't facing the shooter. I saw what was going on, and I dove in front of him.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, yeah. So maybe you were. I was thinking maybe you were already massaging the groin before. And look, don't get anything dirty about this. The groin is it's on the leg.
Yeah.
The groin's on the leg. No, I wasn't. That's what I'm saying. Okay. If anybody's thinking of anything bad, I'm like, settle down.
Exactly. Get your mind out of the gutter. I'm just trying to help a guy get back on the court, man.
Exactly.
Just trying to help a guy get on the court.
Thank you. He'll be back soon, and they'll be fine. The Lakers will be fine. Meanwhile, I guess Brandon Ingram will be.
I don't know. Kuzma's been playing really good here lately. Kuzma will be the guy that'll take hold of that team and try to lead them. But I don't know. So it'll definitely be interesting. But I feel like you got to make sure LeBron has his time.
He'll be fine. Maybe he'll miss a week or whatever. Maybe he'll miss that Clippers and then be back on the second, maybe against the Thunder. He'll probably want to come back for that one.
I think he would want to be. I think that's his goal. I would. Well, when I was there, help rub down his groin. That's what he said. His goal is to be back for the Thunder game.
You're making your mother upset.
I don't think it's my mom. I think it's my dad.
Well, okay, it might be, but I feel like anyway.
So if you're watching on Facebook Live,
they play that Thunder game is the Wednesday ESPN. The Wednesday night.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. So. You know that he's going to be up for something like that. Right, anytime he can get out there and show his face, which he does constantly, he's going to do it.
Right. Okay, so that's LeBron. So the Lakers took care of the Warriors. We could go in about the Warriors and how much they're struggling because look, Klay Thompson is shooting a career low. It's like 33% from the 3-point line this year. He's struggled to find his. He had a tough time in the beginning, and then he kind of found a stroke, and he's struggling again now. But he's not even shooting as much as he once was. So I don't know if that's just if Durant's shooting more, or if I don't know if Curry's shooting more. I guess, but
Boogie's gonna be coming back here soon. Like he's practicing right now.
He is.
Boogie's practicing right now. This team. Right when you start talking about the number one team in the West, the best team in the West, and how they're struggling, which is annoying, but if they're not going to win 70 games, so whatever you want to call it a struggle, we call it a struggle. But what are they? 24-12 now, I think. They were 24-11 going into last night. Anyway, Boogie Cousins comes into this team. This could be, that could be the shot in the arm that these guys needed. And he's going to be hard. You know what you're getting with him. You know what you're getting. But the guy seems to really love being around this team. Mm-hmm. It's all positive. He's all smiles. You can see the happiness in his eyes. This team, you don't usually say this, but the number one team in the West is going to need a shot in the arm pretty soon because they're struggling. That dude could bring it.
He could. If he comes back, though, and they still struggle, that's when he might become what people worry about with Boogie Cousins.
Even if they struggle, though, they're winning more than he ever did.
Yes, but in the middle of games that they're struggling, the way that he has behaved in almost every one of those games, the way that he pouts and gets mad at his teammates and his body language and getting technicals and getting tossed out of game. When they're going bad, he has a hard time being keeping his head on straight.
Yeah.
So
I like to see. I like this. We got Joe Leonard said Boogie Draymond fight will be epic. So he has a hard time keeping his head on straight. That dude, if Draymond Green talks to Boogie Cousins the way he thinks he can talk to Kevin Durant, could you imagine what that would? Kevin Durant is threatening to leave Oklahoma at the end of the year in the middle of a game because Draymond Green called him whatever he called him, said whatever he said. Boogie Cousins just would have knocked him out.
Probably, which will be more fun to watch.
Way more fun to watch.
But I don't want that to happen. I
know you don't want it to happen.
As much as everybody not everybody, as much as a lot of people can't stand the Warriors because of how good they've been, and adding Boogie Cousins, and adding Kevin Durant, and adding Boogie Cousins, people hate that so much. I still love this team. Number one because of Steph Curry.
Oh, 100%.
He's my number one guy on this team, always and forever. I still love if they get back to the way they played the first couple years and just be that Spurs team that beat that Heat team in the what was it, whichever finals,
LeBron's first year, or second year,
I think. It was, oh my gosh, third. It was the third, because I think the second year was when Ray Allen hit the shot in Game 6 to beat the Spurs, and then they went on. Yeah. And I think the next year after that, I want to say, is when the Spurs came back. Whatever year that was. If they get back to that, the way the Spurs moved the ball in that series, and the way the Warriors
that the Warriors did for the last 3 years.
Exactly. If they get back to that, that's exactly. I want to see them win every championship for the rest of my life if they play like that. I love it.
I think that's here. I think that's coming. I think this team is in, like you said, they're in this lull. They're still winning games. They're still number one seed in the West. They're still, just pushing through, doing what they got to do. When things start to matter and these guys start, you get 3-4 plays that happen and ball moves real good. All of a sudden they start, that fun, happiness comes back to them, and they start it when the playoffs come. When it gets more important, you're going to see a more enthusiastic Warriors team. They just don't look. They don't look like they're out there giving it 100%. Not even Steph. Steph looks like Steph's walking up and down the court a few times like the other day.
They're bored with it because they've won so much.
Yeah.
Let me tell you though why I'm even more worried though. I'm not sure that's going to happen. What you were just talking about. Number one, because Kevin Durant changed that a little bit. He's a great player.
But the ball stops there.
The ball kind of stops. It doesn't move like it did before he got there. That's one thing for sure. If you add Boogie Cousins, who's not, he can go out. He started shooting threes there at the end of his time in New Orleans, and he can make them. But he's not a three-point shooter. He's not one of those stretch fours. He's closer to a traditional. He's got his body's so big, he can go down there and score in the paint. And I think that's what he's best at. So he's not going to run up and down like an Andre Iguodala, like a Sean Livingston, share the ball as much as possible and score because the rest of his guys are sharing the ball that way, and he has the two best shooters on the planet on his team. It's going to, it might go into him and stop there, or he might have to pass, he might have to back a guy down a couple of times and then maybe score, and then maybe a double team comes and he throws it back out and
slow down a little bit.
But if all those guys are in at the same time, it's going to look a lot different, I feel like.
I don't feel like Boogie's going to play enough when he does get here to make that kind of difference.
I agree.
To slow the ball down. I think he's going to be a role player for this year. But at the same time, I feel like anybody that can be put in with this team, if you can accept to pass the ball, if you can accept that, get it. If you're open, shoot it. If you're not, get rid of it now. Don't think about it now. This is it. Yes. Open, shoot, not open, pass. That's it. It's that quick. It's got to be that quick with that team. And when they do it, it's one of the more fun teams that you've ever seen in your life.
Absolutely.
So it'll be. I think they'll be fine. It's a law, man. This is that thing where in the beginning of the year they're fine. They have their spurts here still. They're going to be fine. I'm not worried about it.
They're even less interested this year, it seems like. And yes, they will turn it up. When the playoffs come, they will turn it up. But they had to do that last year in the Western Conference Finals, and they basically they just about got beat.
They got lucked out. Chris Paul sits out. He can't play. Chris Paul, phenomenal, obviously phenomenal player. Chris Paul sits out, and the Rockets set a record for most three-pointers
27, I think it was.
They missed 27 in a row, 32 for the game or something like that. So, yeah, it's that they shouldn't have been in the finals, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know what would have happened in that Game 7 if CP3 was there or whatever. But either way, I'm not sure. I'm actually, for the first time in 4 years, starting to doubt a little bit that this is truly the best team and they're going to just roll over everybody again. Starting to doubt that a little bit.
Maybe they're not the team that's going to roll over everybody, but you can't say that they're still not the best team in the West or best team in the NBA.
Right. Well, right now they're not, but
I would take them right now today against anybody still.
Well,
when you have that kind of talent
to win a game, like to win a series starting right now.
Yeah.
Man.
Talent like that, I don't care if you're struggling. That is the kind when you got that kind of talent on the court, that can turn around in a half. I mean, literally, the Warriors used to do that all the time. It'd be a close game till half, and then the third quarter they'd outscore their.
Yeah. It
was something ridiculous. Like they outscored their opponents on average, like 40-20 in the third quarter.
Right.
So
yep.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's that with that kind of talent, it can change in a quarter and in a half. I'm fine with them. I'm still until you show me that you can't win games anymore. You're still my team. They're number one in the West for a reason still.
I think they have some things to work out chemistry-wise and X's and O's wise, just because it's more effort. I think it's more effort than anything else. But and then some X's and O's, basically just getting back to moving and passing
moving
the ball
around. Yep.
Anyway, look. Yeah, if I have to take one team that I say is going to win in June, okay, that's my team.
100%. I'm with you on that, except for the Lakers, of course. Big three.
Anyway,
that was number one on the big three.
Number two is the rest of the Christmas Day games.
Yes.
So we talked about this last week for a while. We were so excited. I mentioned that when I go to the last couple of years, whoever's house we went to for the Christmas open house. Open house. Thank you. For our group side of the family, the TV has not been on the Christmas Day basketball games. Okay. The most likely that is to happen is if it's at your parents' house. And I think if it was there, it would have been on. Anyway, I'm so glad that I went to Grandma's, had a great time. Hardly anybody was there, but it was still a great time. Still a great time. Had a lot of great conversations.
No basketball.
No basketball. So
we even asked her last week on the show to make sure it was on.
She didn't get a chance to listen to it yet. She told me.
Okay.
Didn't get a chance to listen to last week's yet. She's going to catch up. She's also listening to another podcast as well, the Cheap Seats.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. she's got some she's got to work those into her schedule, So anyway, basically I turned Christmas Day basketball, which started at noon. I turned it on about 9:30 last night when I got home.
After all we talked about last week of how excited we were to just sit down all Christmas and watch basketball, how fun it would be, I did about the same. The only time I turned it on, there was about a minute left in the first half of the Lakers-Warriors game. Watched till halftime, went upstairs, never made it back down.
I watched like kind of the fourth quarter, I guess, of that game, and then some of the first kind of little part of the Jazz Blazers, which was that last game that started at 10:30, 10:45 or whatever. But really quickly, going back, so I obviously didn't get to see the Bucks-Knicks. Bucks, as expected, beat the Knicks 109-95. Giannis did his
what
thing.
He does every single game.
30 points, 14 rebounds. And by the way, what makes him so good is his addition. So he's averaging like 14 rebounds a game right now, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Like 30, 14, and then he'll give you 3 or 4 assists, 3 steals,
3 blocks.
2 or 3 blocks. Those things don't sound like big numbers. That complete a game, I mean, that is what makes him what I think is the MVP of the NBA right now.
Wow. More than because I'm going to tell you.
Kawhi.
Okay.
I know it's LeBron for you. But
no, well, we talked about this last year.
We did.
LeBron is the MVP. I mean, look, he's
the MVP of the decade. At the end of the decade, we'll just say LeBron's the MVP.
Yeah, we'll give the '90s to Jordan, and well, the late '80s, early '90s to Jordan. We'll give this decade. Anyway, Anthony Davis is. Have you seen the numbers Anthony Davis has been putting up?
I've seen the numbers Anthony Davis has put up for the last 2 years, and there's a lot of talk now about where he is going next year.
Yeah. This dude is the MVP in waiting. He's just waiting for his turn right now.
As soon as he gets on a team that is a top 2 team in either conference, yep, he'll be MVP.
That kid, watching him handle the ball, he was a point guard in high school.
Yep.
And he didn't start growing
because
he
was like 6'2" or something like that.
He didn't start growing until his senior year. He handles the ball. He can shoot. He plays defense, which is phenomenal. He is good. He's got a mid-range jumper. He's got a back-to-the-basket game. The guy can do everything.
He's about as complete a player.
And he's got the best eyebrow anybody in the NBA.
That still bothers me a little bit. I mean,
he can't get rid of it now.
I know he won't.
It's his name. It's a unibrow. I mean, he's the unibrow. He forever will have to keep that. Which I feel bad for the guy.
He doesn't have to. He chooses to. He wants to keep it.
Well, yeah, it sets you apart, you know?
It doesn't set you apart. The way you put that, the fact that you're a top 3 player in the whole entire world sets you apart.
And you have a unibrow.
You don't need that. Just be Anthony Davis and have
Anthony Davis.
Have a dual brow and
a dual brow
and just average 32 and 16 for the next 8 years on the Lakers. And then
that's what I was going to say. Is he going to the Lakers? What kind of team would that? Think about what that they're going to have. The Pelicans, if they're smart, they're already in conversations with Anthony Davis. Do you want to be here? If we offer you money, are you going to stay? If not,
that's a no.
We're getting rid of you, and they have to get something for him. Who out there has the right pieces to get an Anthony Davis? The Lakers got a lot of young talent.
They do. They sure do.
Think about him in a Lakers uniform next year. That would be. I mean, how much fun would that be?
I'm going to say this. I don't know whether the Lakers are going to, even if he goes there next year, I don't know if the Lakers are going to win a championship. In 2024, the Lakers are going to win a championship.
And LeBron won't be there.
No, LeBron will be there. Oh. It'll be LeBron Jr. It'll be LeBron James Sr., Anthony Davis, LeBron James Jr., and it doesn't matter who else. And they're going to win the 2024 NBA championship.
That'd be pretty cool. I would enjoy that. It'd bring a tear to my eye to see dad and son win a championship together.
It'll be Bronny's rookie year and
the last year for senior. Then he's gone after that.
You know what? 6 years. I mean, he'll be like 40 then.
He'll be 40.
Hey, I mean, Vince Carter's playing in the NBA right now. He's 41, I think. Dirk Nowitzki is 40 or 41. Playing in the NBA right now.
In the NBA, yeah. In the NBA.
He's taken a few shots since he's been back for a couple weeks. Let's move on to Rockets Thunder. That was a 4-point game. I can't believe I missed that one. That middle
probably would have been the best.
That one, and then the Celtics Sixers after that one. Those were the two big ones I was really excited about. Missed every single second of both.
Celtics Sixers looked like it wasn't even that much of a game. Looked like from what I understand, the Celtics handled that game pretty well the whole game.
And they may have. Of course, I didn't get to see it, so final score was only a 7-point game. But two of the best teams in the East, right? So, Kyrie had 40. From what I understand, he was incredible. Kyrie might be the best scorer in the NBA. He might be the best scorer. He can shoot. He can get to the rim. He can finish.
He creates space for himself better than anybody. He's so quick.
He can make a shot around the basket from any angle you need him to. You can throw defenders at him from wherever. He will find the exact amount of space that a basketball fits through hands or whatever else, and find a way to get that to the backboard or just over the rim and into the rim. That man can score in about every way possible.
In bunches.
He had 40. Tatum had 23 and 10. Marcus Morris had 23. The Sixers, Embiid had 34 and 16. He had a superstar game. He had 11 points, 14 rebounds, 8 assists from Simmons. Butler had 24. So the Celtics are finally, I think, starting to find that defense that they played last year, because they struggled for a while. They were not playing good defense for a while. I think they're finally starting to get that back. I think, now the best since Popovich kind of lost all his guys. Maybe the best motivator, the coach that gets the most buy-in from his players. Maybe Brad Stevens now. He
should have been coach of the year last year.
He should have been coach of the year last year. Hopefully he'll be a coach of the year this year. I think they're starting to put it together. I still think the Celtics could still be the best team in the East, even over Toronto and Milwaukee and the Sixers, obviously.
It's going to be fun. The East is definitely getting much better.
James Harden has turned the Rockets season around for the last couple weeks because he's been putting up like 40 every night.
Guys, unbelievable.
He had 41.
The beard.
The beard.
We got the unibrow. We got the beard.
There you go with the beard. You poor guy.
I know, man. That's all I can think about is how I had to shave this beard off today.
Speaking of guys who have played out of their minds the last few weeks, Paul George, in a losing effort, he had 28. Of course, you had Russ with 21.
It's taken Paul George 2 years to figure out his role on that team, and I think he's finally fit into where he is. He's fit into that spot now.
Yeah, I think he's more comfortable now. He figured out how to score with Russell Westbrook
without touching the ball as much. You're not gonna you just don't get. You're not gonna have the ball as much. So when you get your chance and your opportunities, you need to make it happen. Of course, when he had that 40-point game, I think Westbrook had 8 points in that game,
and they won.
And Westbrook, I think, I think it's a combination because I think Westbrook understands when he needs to take. When he, forever he was the guy who just had to go out and take it over. He had to for the last 3 years, just go get it. Mm-hmm. And PG last year kind of suffered a little bit. He didn't have that great of a year, but this year, both of them working together much better. I think that Oklahoma team's a lot of fun to watch right now.
I agree with you. So the Rockets beat the Thunder 113-109. Celtics beat the Sixers. We talked about the Lakers won by 26.
Yep.
And then in that last game, the Jazz beat the Blazers. They held the Blazers to 96, which is pretty impressive. So, especially because the Blazers can put numbers up in bunches, and they and scoring overall has been up this year. So the Jazz kind of it's the same with the Celtics. Found that defense that they played last year under Quinn Snyder and started doing that again. So you have, by the way, Joe Ingles is one of my favorite players to watch in the league. Another lefty, kind of a little similar to Ginobili. Not really the same game, but just like unorthodox mover and kind of a crafty little guy. Yeah. He's not little actually, but anyway, just fun to watch. Just a lefty, doesn't look like he should be good at all, and he's really good.
Crafty.
Never mind. He is. He's a good basketball player.
All right. So there you go. That's the rundown. And that's pretty much the big three.
It is.
It's only two, but
it's only two. If you want to, here's the third. Yesterday on Christmas Day, All-Star voting started. You could start voting for the NBA All-Stars yesterday.
Get out there. Your vote counts for 1/3 of the vote. Correct, isn't it?
50%.
Oh, it's 50%.
Fans are 50.
Oh, that sucks.
Fans are 50. Players are 25. Media is 25.
Who cares?
But so either way, you can vote. Get on NBA.com, the NBA app. I think you can use like Alexa or something now.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can say, "Hey Siri, vote for James Harden."
Yeah, one of those. Yeah.
I wanted to throw that out there because when I listen to this in my car, I've said, "Hey Siri" a couple times. And as I'm listening to it, the whole thing pauses, and Siri jumps
Siri
on.
comes up. Very nice.
So I like to mess with some people while they're driving around or doing whatever they're doing.
In that case, hey Siri, play Kenny G.
Nice. Yes. Good work. Oh, I probably shouldn't have talked so fast after that. Try it again.
Hey Siri, play Yanni. You'll like Yanni.
I don't know who Yanni is. Is that the guy that that little bald guy with the glasses that never ate food for a long time?
No, that was the guy that Eminem always made fun of. Shoot, I forget. I forget.
Gandhi.
No, it was.
I was talking about Gandhi, the little bald guy that never ate.
Oh, yeah, Gandhi. Sorry, I thought you were talking about the
Moby.
Moby. That's what. Okay, yeah. Right. Yeah, Gandhi and Moby.
So is Yanni like a combination of Gandhi and Moby?
He's maybe, and Kenny G. Yeah, if the three of them had a baby together,
it'd be Yanni.
It might be Yanni. Check Yanni out. Hey Siri, play Yanni. So anyway, look, we've got a while. You have until January 21st to vote.
Yes.
Okay, that's when the voting ends. That's Martin Luther King Day. The next kind of big day in the NBA, they play games all day on Martin Luther King Day as well. We'll have time to go through the All-Stars in the next few weeks. All right. But, and I also don't like to, now the NBA is finally waiting a little bit to start their All-Star voting.
Uh-huh.
They were doing what baseball does, and like 3
Second
weeks
week into the season, let them vote.
Right. And that's way too early. So anyway, let's wait until, the first week or so in January is over, and then start talking about it, because then we'll only have a couple weeks to get your votes in and stuff. And
we'll put our picks out there before the week before to let you know what we think.
Yes,
because that's what everybody really cares about.
Everybody is waiting for our picks.
Our picks. Write them in stone. Come down from the mountain. They will be what everybody wants. There you go. Any other good things happen to you this Christmas, man?
Really everything good happened to me this Christmas. It's just I really have been liking Christmas more and more every year.
Yeah.
Just getting together with the family, you have the guarantee.
The thing everybody says. Family.
Right.
And
It's tired. It's cliche.
And
beauty and great.
I don't know.
No, it really is. It does. It means maybe I'm getting closer to the grave or something like that, and I'm thinking about
1 foot in. You all right there, big dog?
Hey, look, 36, man. I'm almost 37. I'm probably more than halfway there. But anyway,
speaking of. Your birthday's come. Oh no, we'll have another one before your birthday.
It's in a few weeks.
Yeah, we'll have another show before your birthday.
We will. So yeah, who cares about that? Anyway, vote for the All-Stars. The Christmas thing for me is, it's great. I don't know. Like I said, I'm spoiled. I'm very lucky. I got a lot of great things.
If you're listening to this live, I'd just like to say Happy Kwanzaa. I didn't realize that today was Kwanzaa, so if you celebrate Kwanzaa, Happy Kwanzaa today.
Happy Kwanzaa to you. Happy Hanukkah, 3 weeks ago or something like that.
Yeah. Is your birthday January 9th?
No, it is the 19th.
Oh, yeah. I knew there was a 9 in there. Okay. Yeah. The 9th is a Wednesday.
Is a Wednesday, so we would be on. No, the 19th. I think it's a maybe
it is a Saturday. You going out? You doing anything big for the big 3-7?
I'm already planning on just getting so hammered. So drunk. I'm gonna start
like a bus together. Or
have there will be a party bus.
Bus, stripper pole or something like that in there.
No strippers, but stripper pole.
Well, I'll be there. So
yeah, exactly. Well, that's exactly. So
I'll bring my American flag Speedo.
We'll do. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We will. I'm used to that now.
It's awesome.
I'm used to it. So. No, I don't have any plans. Usually I go to dinner with my family for my birthday, and that's all.
So Skyline.
So we'll be going to Skyline.
Yep.
Usually we do kind of a little higher end place, not anything too fancy, but for birthdays. But
or Charlie's, Applebee's, something like that.
But I'll go to Skyline, even if I go there the day before. I'll probably go there the day before my birthday too. As a matter of fact, I will, because it'll be a Friday, and I'll probably be going to an Elder game. So I'll go the day before, and then we'll just go ahead and go again for my birthday.
Might as well.
That's all I need.
There you go.
What about you? I told you what I got for Christmas. What did you get for Christmas?
I got a Viking horn that you can drink out of.
Wow. That's great.
Pretty dope.
Can you bring that with you on my birthday party bus?
Oh, 100%.
Thanks, man.
I should have poured my water in that thing
I was just going to say I'll drink a lot of water out of that thing.
I got a ton of really good presents, everybody. I thank everybody for everything I got. It was amazing. Great Christmas. It was just phenomenal. An awesome quarter zip sweater for my mom that I get every year.
Good job,
Got
Mom.
the quarter zip. Got the quarter zip. Yep. She's been on a quarter zip kind of kick over the last few years. I think it's about 4 straight quarter zips.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Now you have one for almost every.
Getting there.
Look, man, wear a different one every day on the job, Monday through Friday. Next year you have the complete set.
Yep.
Oh man, you know what I got?
What'd you get?
The one of the things I was definitely most excited about. First of all, I'm not sure if he ever gets to listen to this, but my Uncle Brent, all right, on my mom's side.
Uncle B.
Uncle Brent, he is a baseball guy. He's old school baseball guy. Loves,
Hold on a second. Uncle Brent on your mom's side? I don't know that.
I'm sorry, on my dad. Did I say my mom's side?
I was trying to figure
out
my
dad's side. Okay. My dad's side. Sorry.
It'd be my Uncle Brent.
It would be your Uncle Brent too. It is not. It is. So anyway, Uncle Brent on my married into the family, married my aunt who was my dad's sister. Anyway, baseball guy, loves the Reds and everything. We do a white elephant on that side. The man bought a white elephant gift of
a white elephant.
No, just 10 billion times better than that. An entire box, 1990 Topps baseball cards, and a box of 1990 Upper Deck baseball cards. That was the white elephant
and
gift.
You got it?
My cousin, who played baseball in high school and college and coached baseball for a long time, got it, opened it up. I stole it from him because someone stole what I got. So
nice.
I made him very upset. I stole it from him. He opened a new present, cat yoga calendar.
Yeah.
I mean, could not have been.
That didn't get stolen.
Could not have been. It actually got stolen because someone felt so bad for him.
Yoga.
I felt so bad for the guy. I didn't want to steal it. I am not one of those ruthless people in that game that just wants what I see. I might steal something that I want, even if I know that person wants it, but I feel so bad. I can't wait for the game to get over so I can just give it back to the person. That's what I tried to do. I tried to give it back to him. He wouldn't accept it. I finally struck a deal with him. Somebody took the cat yoga calendar. He opened something else up, and it was a 6-pack of Reese's peanut butter cups, which are right up my alley too.
Yeah.
So I ended up convincing him to trade me that for one of the boxes. He was really excited about the Upper Deck box.
Gotcha. Okay.
I got to keep. We all got some. It worked out perfect. I got to keep the 90 Topps box. He got the 90 Upper Deck box. We both got the Holy Grail in those boxes, which was the Ken Griffey Jr.
Nice.
That year.
You both did?
We both. I got the Topps one. He got the Upper Deck one. The Upper Deck one was always worth more.
His rookie was at the 88 or 89?
89 was his rookie year. So, but they had like the Topps all rookie things in the 90. So anyway, they're the all rookie, whatever they called it in the Upper Deck and the Topps thing. So anyway, we both got to open cards for a while after that.
Did you chew the bubble gum? Did you eat the bubble gum?
Let me tell you this: the bubble gum. There was bubble gum in every pack. Yeah. It was cemented to the back of the last card in every single pack.
Are you kidding me?
Cemented. I had to get an old credit card out and try to chip away at it And then after a while, I stopped because it was
just threw the last card away.
It was either destroying the last card or I had to leave it on. So I just started leaving them all on. So I have
how awesome
every pack has a stick of gum
how
from
much
1990
to get a Ken Griffey Jr. and that be the last card.
Let me tell you,
and have a stick of gum cemented to the back of it. I put it directly in the plastic just like that.
That year in the top set, there was a Nolan Ryan subset of 500 strikeouts. So it was
nice.
I forget, it were 6 different Nolan Ryan 5,000 strikeout cards. One of those had the gum on the back of it. So luckily, I was collecting cards in 1990, and I already had that.
You already had that one, so you're
still
good to
have
go.
it.
All right, good.
So anyway,
Good.
Oh
man, good.
That's one of my favorite.
I'd love to
things
get
do.
into card talk one time. I got a buddy who's a big card guy, and my dad's big card collector.
Mm-hmm.
We could have some fun talking about that.
That
was our kid. That was our childhood growing up was baseball cards. So we'll get into that. We keep talking about it, but we've never got into it yet.
We got to do it.
We'll do it. All right. So real quick. So my son got a pack of Pokemon cards.
Oh,
I wouldn't let him open it.
okay.
Because I told him, I said, listen, this is the best practice. I don't really care what happens to these cards, but we're going to do this together so you can learn how to open a pack of cards without ruining them.
Thank you, man. I'm so glad
don't bend up any corners. Don't bend, keep the corners clean. Get that thing opened up correctly. One side open, slide them out. Good to go.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't try to do this. Just open the top of the pack and try to pull the cards out of the top. It'll never happen. You're going to ruin 2 or 3 corners. Get that thing from the fold in the back, ripped open on one side, slide out, good to go.
Very good. Thank you for saying that.
You're welcome. We'll talk more about that later.
You could be a horrible dad the rest of the year just because you did that.
Dad of the year.
You're dad of the year.
There you go.
You're dad of the year.
Sounds good. All right, man. You got anything else good going on?
I don't know. I'm in the middle of my long vacation from work.
Yeah, that's right. 12 days.
12 days. I got sick I started getting sick on the last day at work. So I've been sick the entire time I've been off.
Sound good today?
I feel okay right now. It started out, I thought I was getting the flu. I felt so bad the first 2 days, and then it kind of just turned into a cold. It's a cold, but I'm just a little congestion.
Sound good, brother.
It's all right.
The tea and lemon or whatever you've been doing.
Been drinking so much hot tea, man.
Yeah.
I drink it a lot in the winter anyway, but I went and got this immune booster,
Uh-huh.
immune booster tea.
You got to get the immune booster. What do they put in immune booster tea?
I think ginger is one thing that gross, but it's mixed with enough other stuff
so gross
that it's not that bad.
Whoever decided
ginger
to pull
and
up that
echinacea.
root,
Ginger root and echinacea.
Now, the echinacea, let me tell you about echinacea. So, real quick story. I have no idea what echinacea is. So, whoever decided
to be great.
Whoever decided to pull up this damn root, this ginger root, and start shaving on it and using it to cook with.
You whiffed on that one.
I whiffed that one. And decided to start cooking with it. I am so mad at you right now. I know that dude's dead or that chick's dead or whatever. That is the most annoying thing, the nastiest thing that you can ever put into any food or drink is ginger. It's disgusting. It's ginger beer and these Moscow mules and all this stuff. Garbage is disgusting. I got this box, this Blue Apron box of food, make yourself a little dinner, gives you a little bit of everything you need to give you this little chunk of ginger. Shave it up, cook it a little bit, and you put it in there. I'm like, all right, I'll do it. I hate this stuff anyway. Disgusting.
Yeah?
Disgusting. So there was 2 recipes. Both had ginger. Second one did not get ginger when I made it.
Good call. Ginger I don't prefer. I guess in the tea it's almost a little cinnamony. So it's not that bad.
You sure that's not the echinacea? Did I say that right?
No, I think I think so.
Yeah, see that?
If I said it right in the first place, who knows if I'd have said it right. Anyway, it's not bad. The tea is not bad. Good.
You sound great.
Thank you.
You sound good. You sound good. We're happy to have you here, sounding terrific.
By the way, we missed one. Happy Boxing Day in Canada.
Oh, is today Happy Boxing Day, or was
It's
that
Boxing Day in Canada?
Boxing Day in
Thank you,
Canada.
Natalie, for pitching in there.
I didn't see
Boxing
that
Day
one.
in Canada, and I've got to look up. I've looked it up before,
Yeah.
but I can't remember. I think it was last year at this time. Can't remember what Boxing Day means. But Happy Boxing Day if you're in Canada.
Well, there's a couple
our
big
friends in
fights.
Canada.
Charlo and his the brothers Charlo fought a couple nights ago.
Mm-hmm.
So it's it's been a big boxing week. Maybe they just have some main events out there or something.
Possibly.
There you go.
Possibly. All right. That's I don't know. That's all I've got.
That sounds good to me, man. Well, let's see. Big day for the EPL. I don't know what that is. Joe Leonard, thanks for the EPL shout out, but no idea what that is. So, everybody, we appreciate you checking in with us. You can catch us live every Wednesday, 10:30 on Facebook. Thursday mornings we come out on all your favorite platforms: YouTube, Apple Podcast, iTunes. What else is on there? Castbox and YouTube. SoundCloud. Yeah.
YouTube.
You can watch
iTunes.
this video. This video right now will be on YouTube tomorrow.
Yep. It'll also be on Facebook tomorrow.
Yes, it will. So check it out. Enjoy it. We appreciate everybody coming on and listening. And until next week. Actually, we do have, real quick, we have a show in between. I don't know if it's going to go up, be posted or not, but this Saturday, the Nosebleed Sports Podcast will be broadcasting live from Paul Witt's 50th birthday party. Happy birthday, Paul Witt. And we're excited to spend the day with you, bud.
Big time event.
Big time event.
Bigger than Christmas.
It'll be bigger than Christmas. There's no doubt about that. My man's 50. All right, so happy birthday to him. And happy birthday to Jesus. We didn't say that. Happy birthday to Jesus yesterday. Congratulations on
your
being
birthday.
2018 years old or whatever you are. And
you don't look a day over 2017.
that's exactly right. Don't forget to turn your headlights on. Day over 2013.